Good afternoon, I'm Mike Powers. It's not a scene out of The Wizard of Oz, but if you didn't batten down the hatches today, you may have been blown away. News 13's David Romero is live at the Sandia Peak tram, which has been shut down because of the high winds.
Well, Mike, those winds aren't just making it feel uncomfortable, it's also affecting businesses. Strong winds have been blowing since the early morning hours. For drivers on I-25 north of Los Lunas, traffic was in near brownout conditions. It's the same spot affected last week by high winds and blowing dirt. It wasn't much different in parts of Albuquerque either. Blowing sands on the west side also caused poor driving conditions. Zero visibility prompted the Torrance County Sheriff's Office to shut down Highway 41 between 542, which is 5 miles north of Willard, and Estancia. All traffic is being diverted at this time to Highway 55. Back here in the Heights, high winds have temporarily closed down the Sandia Peak tram. It does not run in 40 to 45 mile per hour crosswinds or 50 to 60 mile per hour headwinds. Gusts at the crest were clocked at 60 miles per hour this morning.
I knew it'd be colder, so I dressed kind of warmer than I normally would.
I'm all right with it, except for all the cleanup that I got to do around the house. You know, all the dust and stuff, but otherwise it's just weather.
Now the winds have even postponed trash and recycling pickup in Santa Fe. The winds are expected to die down within the next couple of hours on this side of the mountain. As for the other side, it is a different story. And for that, we go to meteorologist Jason Laney.
And we've already seen those winds really picking up in the eastern part of the state. Right now, we've got our strongest winds kind of bullseyed here in these areas painted in orange. That would be basically Tucumcari down to Clovis, at least the strongest sustained winds at 45, 46 miles per hour. We've seen the winds that were sustained at about 45 miles per hour in the Albuquerque metro fall off quite a bit. Right now blowing sustained at about 15 miles per hour, but still gusting to about 30. And you can see we've still got some pretty decent gusts back to the west. But David's right. Over the next several hours, we'll slowly see a reduction in wind speeds out in the west, but certainly here in the east, it is going to continue to be problematic. Right now, places like Clovis and Tucumcari both showing wind gusts at about 60 miles per hour. That's the criteria to get up into that high wind warning, so this is verifying that's going to continue to be the case across the eastern parts of the state. Meanwhile, in the west, wind advisory, so go ahead and count on the wind at least staying brisk through a couple of hours prior to sunset.